Hi, I'm here at the LA Kings Minnesota Wild game, and you're watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. And 2 series down, this one is next. Here we are. We are talking about the Vegas Golden Knights in the playoffs versus a very close geographical rival, the Los Angeles Kings. This is, if you were to pick any team to play against Vegas, as far as a rivalry would be, to be prior to the season starting, I think Los Angeles would be the
I think
team
they'd have to be.
Maybe Arizona, but that's unrealistic. No offense to Arizona. But,
yeah. LA, there's so much communication between those two cities.
Yeah.
Vegas is the playground of LA in a way. They're close enough that you can pick up and go to Vegas for the weekend by driving there.
Absolutely.
So these two cities are close together. I don't think they have a natural sports rivalry yet, but I think that will change in the next 2 weeks.
This is it. This series will create the first rivalry of the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, if they move on and play another team, there will be other rivalries, of course, but this is the first. This will create a rivalry, definitely. So as the other videos went, I talked about some statistics, team versus team, talked about some players, and then talked about each team a little bit more. So Vegas, 2.27 goals per game, 2.74 goals against per game, 21.4% on the power play, 81.4% on the penalty kill, 48.9% on the faceoffs. Man, I'm losing it. On Los Angeles' side, 2.89 goals per game, 2.46 goals against per game, 20.4% on the power play, 85% on the penalty kill, and 49.7% in the faceoff circle. So Vegas has a better goals per game and a better power play, but Los Angeles has a better goals against per game, better penalty kill, and better in the faceoff circle.
These two teams are so evenly matched.
They really are, yeah.
In the season series, they both had 2 regulation wins, a regulation loss, and an overtime loss, or a shootout loss. So they both took 5 points out of a possible 8 from each other. They have similar records going into the playoffs. The last 10 games are roughly the same for both teams. So neither one of them is on a super-duper high or a super-duper low. Talent pool, I think there's an equivalence there. I think Vegas may be more up front, and you're going to get to the individual players. I don't want to jump the gun there. But I think the difference in this series is going to be emotion.
Yeah, and
who has
hard
the
work
emotion.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a prediction coming up.
So speaking of the talent, if we start with Vegas, Carlson had 78 points this year. Marchessault had 75, Perron 66, Smith 60, Holla 55, Neal 44, Miller 41, Tuck 37. If we jump over to the other side, Kopitar had 92, Brown had 61, Doughty had 60, Toffoli had 47, Muzzin had 42, Pearson had 40, Kempe had 37, and Lewis had 26. So clearly there is more offensive depth in Vegas as far as how the season went. We'll see if that transitions to the playoffs. Obviously, we've never seen Vegas in the playoffs, so we don't know. But chances are the consistency will carry over to the playoffs.
And Vegas, you look at their top point getters; they're more blended.
Oh yeah,
there's less of a lower of a standard deviation there between the best scorer and the halfway best scorer. With LA, you've got Kopitar way out there. Then the other players are quite a ways back. And I think that makes it easier to play against LA because you can put someone on Kopitar and you can kind of keep an eye. With Vegas, they've got a couple of lines that are dangerous. So it's where do you put your assets against them?
Yeah, definitely.
They can hurt you. With the second line, third line can hurt you.
They're so deep, yeah. And not just offensively, defensively too.
Yeah.
They man-on-man coverage is pretty good. Teams often talk about the 7th man, which is the fan, us, whatever. That arena in Vegas, that 7th man, is going to be. I think it's going to be a huge impact emotionally.
Massive.
You said emotion is going to be a big thing in this series. I think you're completely right. I can't wait to watch the first game. To be honest, Los Angeles is one of the best defensive teams in the National Hockey League. They will shut you down, and I mean Jonathan Quick, he is such an unorthodox goalie. He's all over the place. He's so quick laterally, but he's so good. He reminds me of Don McHassick in a way. He's got a bit of a temper. He's a little entitled, a little bit. When he doesn't get his way, he gets a little upset. He's so good. He's so acrobatic. Probably the most acrobatic goalie in the league. One of the best goalies in the league, absolutely. So Vegas is going to have a hard time putting the puck in the net in this series, for sure. So I would guess this would be a low-scoring series. Of all the series in here, I'm going to assume or guess that this is going to be a pretty low-scoring series based on all of the other ones. Like you said, I have written down here, Vegas can attack with all 4 lines. You've already mentioned that. So they're crazy deep. I have written down here as well. Expect LA to play a lot of man-on-man coverage and shut down certain players. So you see this from certain teams and certain players. Kessler's really good at this. Kadri's really good at this. LA will do this to Vegas. They'll pick certain players like Carlson, like Neal, like Perron, and have glue. They'll pick a player and glue them to the opposing player and shadow them. I fully expect LA to use this method because it gets results.
It works.
It frustrates them so much. So
yeah,
I would expect to see that from this series. Gerard Gallant factor. The players want to please him. Just based on that, the players want to please Gerard Gallant. He is a player's coach. It's been said by everyone in the league. He was voted to win the the Jack Adams Trophy halfway through the season.
Yeah,
30 votes to 1 by his fellow coaches, and it was only 30 to 1 because he couldn't vote for himself. So that one was him voting for someone else. So everybody likes Gerard Gallant. Everybody. He's an amazing human being and an amazing coach as well.
He's from right here in PEI. How could you not like him? Come on.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the players want to please him. He makes it easy to play for him. So,
and the players really want to play for each other too.
Absolutely, they
are a band of brothers.
Yeah.
Who were thrown together in the boardroom, several boardrooms over the course of the last year, and here they are, and they sit there in the dressing room and they decide we're going to pick this up. We're going to go.
Yep.
And they've done it, and they've done it for Gallant. They've done it for the city, which had a very rough start with the shooting. It was hard on Las Vegas. The team found a way to draw on that spirit that they had in the arena that first night, and they've run with it ever since. The shine has come off a little bit because for a long time they had never lost at home, and it was just looked crazy. They finally did, I think, lose 10 games at home in regulation out of the 41 that they played. Still not too damn shabby, I would say.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
No one could have predicted that Vegas would have done this well. First-year expansion team, no one would have predicted that.
No.
Do you think Los Angeles is... Do you think they have any pressure on them to lose to a first-year expansion team in the playoffs?
Pressure on them to not lose, you mean?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
To not lose.
Oh, I think there's a huge amount of pressure.
I think so, too.
You don't want to be the first team to lose a series to a brand new hockey team.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't do it. Back in 1968, when the NHL first expanded from 6 to 12 teams, you had St. Louis was the best team in the West.
Yeah.
You had all the expansion teams in the West.
Yeah, they stacked each series, so an original 16 would
and
always
the original 6 were always in the East, and it was just bedlam.
Yeah.
It was just bedlam. And those days are long gone. You can, obviously we've shown, maybe because of Bettman being smart, a team that comes into the league now gets some pretty good preferential drafting, some pretty good preferential way of getting the expansion going by choosing a player from each team.
And we'll see that again in the Seattle.
When Seattle comes in, teams aren't as capable of protecting all the players they want to protect as they used to be in the past. So this is tremendous. It's tremendous for the game. It's tremendous for the city. And I know LA doesn't want that to be hung on them as being the first team to lose to Vegas. But I think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen too. I'm predicting Vegas in 6 games.
Me too.
6
Vegas,
games?
Yeah, Vegas in 6. I just think that the crowd carries them over the top. Now, if they win in 6, that means they're winning the series in LA.
That's true.
And I think that's a point they want to make too.
They don't need to win at home.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I think they'll really try hard. No one wants to go home for Game 7, even in a place like Vegas. You don't want to go home for Game 7 because anything can happen in a Game 7.
So we've made our predictions. Who do you want to win?
Vegas,
Yeah,
all the way.
Definitely me too.
All the way. I have nothing against LA. They've, done well in the fairly recent past.
They've won 2 cups recently.
Yeah, they've got some hardware. They've had a few parades. Good for them. Vegas is such a great story. I don't see Vegas going all the way to the Cup, but I wouldn't be disappointed if they did.
Heck no.
And this would be the greatest story in sports.
Absolutely.
And I'm all about stories.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Right on.
All right, well, that wraps up this video. Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comment section your prediction for this series. And tell me in how many games, too. I'd be curious to know your thoughts. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, I hope you can hit the subscribe button down below. If you did like this video, hit the like button down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.